Hello, this is an addendum video that we're trying out, seeing how we have a different setup. This is a focus on pronunciation on these pairings. We have 4 pairs that we're going to focus on in this video, and we'll see if it can help us understand. Now, we'll need to review about the places and manner of articulation. I believe you should have covered this in Professor Pak's class, but just to go over, review ourselves, there are different places where our sounds come out of, how we make these different sounds. So labial, when we hear that, that means lips. Labial means lips. Pointer. Dental, you can guess, means teeth. Labial, lips, dental, teeth. Alveolar is this part up here. This is the alveolar ridge. And post-alveolar, which when we come up, is behind. Post means after. Behind the alveolar ridge. There. Velar, glottal. We'll talk more later. Velar is back here, and glottal is all the way down here. We'll get to that later. Manners of articulation. We have the word nasal. Some of the sounds we make have a nasal sound. Stops, affricates, and fricatives. And there's also voicing. Voicing comes from the throat. The easiest way to know if a sound is voiced or voiceless is to place 2 of your fingers on your throat and feel when you can feel the vibrations. For example, if you say the S sound, S, do you feel anything in your throat? No, you shouldn't. So how about the V sound? You feel that in your throat. So that's the difference between voiced and voiceless. Our vocal cords make that. Okay. Now, for P versus F, P and F, this is on page 44. To help remind us, P is a voiceless bilabial stop. That means when we say P, there's no vibration in our throat. Bilabial, as we remember, labial is lip, bi, like bicycle, is 2 lip stop. And stop means that our air is quite literally stopped by something. There's something blocking the air coming out. In this case, our lips. So voiceless bilabial stop is the P sound. P, P, P. But F, 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 is a voiceless labial dental fricative. It's close, but it's not the same. Now, we don't have a natural F sound in Korean. So F is a difficult sound for Korean speakers to start making. It's not natural. So quite often the Korean approximant of piup will be used. French fries, it's an approximant, a replacement, but not the actual. So voiceless again, f, labial dental. When you make the f sound, is it both your lips coming together? No. It's f, your top teeth going down on your bottom lip. Not hard, of course, but that's where that sound comes from. F. And fricative being that we're using friction to make that sound. So, p, f, p, f. So let's take a look at some examples here and try to say them as well. It's a sharp pin. It's a sharp pin. It's a sharp pin. It's a sharp fin. It's a sharp fin. It's a sharp fin. You should be able to feel and hear the difference. Pin, fin, pin, fin, pin, fin. And hopefully you can hear the difference In fact, I don't know how this is sounding on the microphone. I've got a new mic setup. And so the stops might be popping at you. I've got a filter, though. We'll see. Now, the second example, peel this orange, peel this orange, peel this orange, feel this orange, feel this orange, feel this orange. Go ahead and say it. Peel this orange, feel this orange. There's no pork in here. There's no pork in here. There's no pork in here. Versus, there's no fork in here. There's no fork in here. Again, fork and pork are very close in how we pronounce them. Snip these flowers. Snip these flowers. Snip these flowers. Versus sniff these flowers. Sniff these flowers. Sniff these flowers. So in this case, the sounding question is at the end of the word. Snip these flowers. Sniff these flowers. Snip these flowers. Sniff these flowers. And lastly, he showed me his palm. He showed me his palm. He showed me his palm. This one might be very interesting for us. But let's see. Versus, he showed me his farm. He showed me his farm. Now, the L and R sounds, the retroflex word sounds, they present a different challenge for Korean native speakers, and we'll get to those in the future. So these are palm and farm, to me, are radically different words. But to native Korean speakers, they're much more difficult to say fluently. So it's something for us to pay attention to. Let's go to our next pair. B and V. B, V, B, V. Now, where P is voiceless, P, P, P. B is voiced, B, 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 B. Again, though, a bilabial stop. We can't keep saying the sound continuously. But V is a voiced labial dental fricative. So F is voiceless, V is voiced. Now also, just so to help us understand stop and continuous, V we can say until we run out of breath. Okay, but then B, 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 I have to make the sound again. And even if you were to say, but teacher, what about B? That's not a B sound. That's the sound. That's a vowel, and those are continuous. So let's take a look at some of these examples, and we can hear and feel their difference. They're good bets. They're good bets. Make sure bilabial. These are lips coming together. They're good vets. They're good vets. This is labial dental. Lip and teeth working together. Vets, bets. Vets, bets. Next. He wore his best. He wore his best. He wore his vest. He wore his vest. Can they lift the ban? Can they lift the ban? Can they lift the van? Can they lift the van? Ban, van. Best, vest. Bets, vets. Again, we don't have the V sound natively in Korean, so it's something we need to be aware of and try to pay attention to. We're not asked to have fluent pronunciation or native pronunciation, but I want us to be aware of it. Next, we need more bolts. We need more bolts. Versus, we need more volts. We need more volts. Jones won the boat. Jones won the boat. Versus, Jones won the vote. Jones won the vote. And lastly, this one's very good. Example, it's a berry red color. It's a berry red color versus it's a very red color. It's a very red color. We have th and s, and these are getting closer. So th is a voiceless dental fricative using teeth, and s, the s, is a voiceless alveolar fricative. When we make that sound, s, our tongue goes up to the top of our mouth. So go ahead and make that S sound. S. Where does your tongue go? Does all your tongue go up, or part of your tongue go up to the top of your mouth? And which part? Is the front of your tongue, or the middle of your tongue, the back of your tongue, or the very, very tip of your tongue? So this is all very important, because if we move our tongue, we'll make a different sound. So the voiceless dental fricative of th. So as we see in mouth and thumb and thinking. So so children often have this problem of a lisp. A lisp is when you, instead of making your S sounds, you turn them into dental fricatives. So instead of song, you say thong, or misses into mythith, things like that. A lot of children speak with lisp as they grow up. I spoke of a lisp until middle school, second grade, and it was it took a amount of practice and work for me to get over it. But this is a very easy trap to fall into, and so it's something we need to be aware of and try to take care of as well. So let's take a look. These are both voiceless, because if we made them voice, they'll be different sounds altogether. So let's take a look. What a sweet little mouse. What a sweet little mouse. We see that. Versus what a sweet little mouth. What a sweet little mouth. Is this some okay? Is this some okay? Is this thumb okay? Is this thumb okay? He's sinking. He's sinking. He's thinking. He's thinking. He's sinking. Sinking. He's thinking. Thinking. Good. There's a mountain pass. There's a mountain pass. There's a mountain path. There's a mountain path. Okay. And voiced dental fricative? Well, a voiced alveolar stop. Lots of fun here. So, this is the if th and the. So we see than, the, and the and though, either. So this is another example where I personally had problems in pronunciation, and I used the alveolar stop. So we have duh and the. Duh, the. Duh, the. In some ethnic or regional accents and vernacular, you'll hear them. Instead of people saying they are over there, say they are over there. So in some Englishes, they'll replace the sound with the duh sound entirely. Instead of they are over there, it'd be they are over there. But those are regional dialects. So we see the example. Smith is bigger than Jones. 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 Some of these might be hard to hear. It can be difficult to hear for native speakers as well, so don't feel too distraught. Day arrived. They arrived. They arrived. They arrived. You can see how quite easily some people might pronounce they as day. It's easy to do. So they arrived. They arrived. Jim dares his friend. Jim dares his friend. Jim, there's his friend. Jim, there's his friend. Doze after lunch. Doze after lunch. Those after lunch. Those after lunch. I don't know her sister, Ida. I don't know her sister, Ida. I don't know her sister either. I don't know her sister either. One more time. I don't know her sister, Ida. I don't know her sister, Ida. Ida's a name. I don't know her sister either. I don't know her sister either. Okay, so this is just an addendum to the main lecture. Hopefully this helped us practice and hear a bit more, and we can, hopefully you're practicing at home, and maybe with friends too, but hopefully we can hear and feel the differences in articulation and manners of articulation and the places of articulation, and we can have a better understanding of English pronunciation. So good luck on your video lessons. I'm very excited, and they're coming in fast.